Hey, this is Meredith's husband. I've got some SEO advice for you, but I'm going to keep it really simple so that you can understand it, so it makes sense, and most importantly, so you can actually use it. Do you remember what we talked about last week?
AI.
We talked about AI, and I was talking about some of the rumors, the Google rumors of how Google was, there was an increase, there was an overnight increase. All of a sudden, 65% more searches were resulting in their AI generated.
Right.
And I was like, okay, the rumor is that this is going to come out of beta. It was officially in beta, and it's going to be opened up to everybody. So it's going to go from like 65% to 100%. So that's that is what happened. Remember, I mentioned the Google I/O event, and you said,
when is it?
And I said, I don't know. I think it's soon. It was literally the day that episode dropped. I knew it was soon. I didn't realize it was going to be that soon. So if you were listening to that episode and then you went and Googled the Google I/O event, you would have found that it was happening at that exact moment.
Wow.
But anyway,
serendipity.
I wanted to update last week because some of the announcements were in fact accurate.
Wow.
Or some of the rumors were accurate. It was pretty much the Google event. It's 2 or 3 days. It was pretty much all about AI. And how AI is going to be integrated into search results like we talked about. It's integrated into Google Chrome, or I should say Chromebooks, integrated into Google Android phones, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the types of changes that are coming. I'm just going to cover very specifically what we talked about last week. Remember the search generative experience?
Yes.
It's no longer called the search generative experience.
Well, thank goodness, because it's a terrible name.
It was mouthful. It's now called the AI Overview, and it has been rolled out to everyone in the USA, all accounts.
So anybody, if they Google something.
If you Google something, there is a good chance that you will see an AI overview. Now, AI overviews are not present for all searches. Like if you were to do a search for photographers near me, most likely searches like that are not going to come back with an AI overview. There's going to be regular.
What would be typical?
What they do now, like here are the photographers near you.
No. For the AI.
Oh, like how do I, best recipes for broccoli and squash
pajamas.
That would undoubtedly come back with an AI overview.
Delicious.
So informative searches are now rolled out to everyone in the USA, and soon, they said, I don't know how soon, the rest of the world.
Okay.
So
once we figured out all the kinks.
What I got a kick out of was there are a lot of articles covering this event, obviously. And a lot of the articles that I were looking at had to do with the search aspect of this, not the Android phones, not the Google AI Assistant, et cetera. And a lot of those articles were titled Google AI Overview and How to Turn It Off. So if you don't want those AI search results in your personal search, when you do a search, if you don't want those.
Right.
Now the part that I thought was funny is you can't turn it off.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
No, you can't turn it off. There is no option to turn it off.
No.
And all these articles.
You just use a different search engine?
Yeah, you can use a different search engine. I wouldn't recommend that. What is going to happen soon, according to the CEO of Google in his keynote for this thing, is very soon you will be able to adjust those results. You'll be able to fine tune them. You'll be able to adjust the types of things you want to see. It will also soon allow you to ask what they called complex follow-ups. So you can essentially have a conversation with Google search.
Oh.
Yeah, which is, I don't know, that seems interesting.
Sure. When you get lonely.
He used a couple examples.
How to free all elephants from zoos.
And they were specific to like personal things. And they were specific. Like, let's say you have a bunch of images in your Google image library, and they're images of your daughter. This is the example he used.
I was going to say, I don't think we have a daughter.
He said, actually, I don't know if it was a daughter, but let's say you have a daughter and she's doing swim lessons. Yes. And you've been taking pictures, and you just want to say, and her name is, I'm just going to make this up, say Isabel. And you just want to say, how has Isabel's progress been in swim class? And it will explain to you with images what has happened.
No way.
Yeah. So what I think is one of the more interesting things about this is it's the Google AI is going to integrate photos, videos, audio. And where I see this going personally, when Google Glass comes back, remember Google Glass, which did not go anywhere. That's going to come back. Like Ray-Ban is doing it, Facebook, everybody's doing this so that you will essentially have a camera with you somehow, whether it's on your glasses or in your hat or hair, I don't know, or right in your eyeballs probably.
There goes my career.
You can just say, "Hey, Google," and ask about what it is you're seeing, and it will so that's where it's going. That's not now, but that is, I think, the direction that this is going, which seems pretty interesting, actually.
Wow. So you could say, Google, I'm lost. Take me home.
Yes, you could absolutely do that.
Google, there's a creepy guy. Here he is. Can you please
Yeah. Well,
alert?
yeah. When you start to combine it with facial recognition, then it gets really that's what supposedly they have this in China. Like the police have search-enabled glass. They have essentially the equivalent of Google Glass. And they can look at somebody and right in their glasses, they will see the person's name, age, where they live, criminal history, if they have one, et cetera, et cetera.
Goodbye, privacy road.
Yes.
The way I thought that would be interesting is if you go on a speed dating event, and you wear glasses and you actually know what each of these people do when they're like, I'm an investment banker. And
speed dating is a big thing nowadays.
Yes. I know. Oops. La, 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 la.
Some of the other things specifically related to search is that Google is going to be able to help you plan. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's going to be able to help you plan vacations, plan recipes, plan your day. It's going to be integrated more with Google, with the Google personal
ADHD.
assistant. And when you do a search, they're also moving towards the format of those results is going to be, it's not going to be predetermined. Like right now you do a Google search and you get a list of results. And now you get the AI. It's going to be completely custom based on what you search for. So sometimes a list would be the most helpful things. Sometimes a series of photos with instructions, like for, say, example, a recipe. Sometimes it will be a series of videos. It's going to basically design a website instantly to display the search results to you in the most appropriate manner.
So here's my question. How is that going to affect SEO?
Well, you still keep doing SEO the way I have been teaching. Remember what we said last week is you keep on doing the same thing.
Right. Okay.
Remember what Danny Sullivan, spokesperson for Google, said last.
Everybody's doing the right thing. You're all good.
Yeah. If you're creating good content, don't worry. You're going to be fine.
Great.
So I did want to compare this a little bit because Google they have their own AI model. It's called Gemini.
Okay. Gemini.
ChatGPT is another AI model from.
Who does ChatGPT?
A company called OpenAI. And I want to talk about them more in next week's episode because it is really, really interesting.
Okay.
So that's next week. But I wanted to compare just because arguably ChatGPT is like the leader. OpenAI is the leader. Like they jumped out way ahead of everybody else. And I was curious what it was they were doing so differently that gave them better results than everybody else. And I actually asked a couple people, who I would consider to be an expert. No, I wouldn't do that.
Google?
I asked a person who I know.
You're welcome.
Oh, my God. And that person said, it's not that they're doing anything different. It was just timing. They were first to market. They were ahead of everybody else. And then so obviously since they have the lead, but it's not that they are necessarily, they have something different than other people have. They're just ahead of other people. So I know that people, when people use AI, a lot of times ChatGPT is the one that people go to because they are arguably better at this stage right now. They have better results. Now, I've been using the Gemini AI, Google's AI tool.
So you would go to Google and just type in Gemini?
No, it's because, again, I don't think it's necessarily better, but it is integrated so well with things like your email and Google Work, like Google Docs. I write some stuff, I highlight it all, and right there is the AI option. Do I want to rewrite it in a more casual tone, a formal tone? Do I want to rephrase it? Do I want to put it into bullets? Blah, blah, blah. Or I can just give custom instructions. With ChatGPT, you need to go to ChatGPT whatever it is, IO, and then type in what you want it to do and et cetera. It's, like I said, arguably better results from ChatGPT, but it's just kind of the extra step of having to go like they have the disadvantage.
Like the one-stop shop.
Yeah, like Google does have the advantage that you're going to be so well integrated. Like you use Gmail, you use Google Docs, you use spreadsheets. I use a Pixel phone. All this stuff is just so much easier to use.
So how do you access it?
It's
Gemini.
It's actually very easy. They have an app. There is a Gemini app. You can download. There is a ChatGPT app. They are pretty much the same thing.
But from your desktop.
So I pay for the Pro version, which integrates directly with the Google Workspace plan. So it's right in my Gmail. It's right in my Google Docs. It's in all my Google tools. If you don't do that, there is a free online version you can use, and it's basically just like ChatGPT.
Okay.
So the one question that I've been getting about this is
what color is it?
Is ChatGPT a boy or a girl or gender neutral?
Do they wear sunscreen?
Are search engines going to matter anymore? Is Google going to matter anymore now that there's AI? And that's a difficult question to answer because I don't know all the details about this stuff. But OpenAI, the company that released ChatGPT, has announced that they are developing a search engine, which suggests to me that, search engines are still very important. If ChatGPT had such a huge advantage that search engines didn't matter anymore, they wouldn't be developing a search engine. Now,
correct.
And one of the, I should say probably one of the biggest advantages of Google's AI, Gemini, is that it's backed by their search results. They say it's supplemented by their search index, which is it's basically all of the published information in the world, Right. Okay, so it has that advantage. So I'm going to link below to a couple of articles. One straight from Google about what was covered here.
Okay.
What was covered in a summary of the I/O event. And another one that I found.
And it's not Improv Olympic, just for all you improvisers out there.
Right. And another one from the website Vox, VOX, which was a really good summary, I feel. I'm going to link to those two. If you're interested, if you want to see what else is coming or more about this stuff. But I did want to update the last episode because I was saying I talked nonstop about SGE.
That's very cute.
And the day after that episode released, they ended SGE and replaced it with AI overview. So there you go.
That's good to know. Oh, I'm excited for next week's.
Yeah, next week it's just drama.
Drama mine.
If you like good stories, this is
Who doesn't like a good story?
Yeah, that's next week.
Once upon a time, come gather around the fire, my friend. Hey, thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you find this helpful and useful. And if you do, what you could do for us as a thanks would be to, drumroll please, leave a review. Yes, everybody says it, I know, but it really does make a difference. Take 3 seconds, leave as many stars, say something really nice about what you like about the podcast and maybe why other people would like it. It would mean the world to us, especially my husband. That better? All right, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to be charming.